Let's go to the UK now for the latest on London's plans to deport some asylum seekers who arrived in the country to Rwanda. The plan has been met with a great deal of opposition and has so far prevented a flight carrying the first migrants from leaving the country. Our London correspondent Olly Barratt joins me now for the latest. Good evening to you, Olly. So that flight didn't leave. Do you know why exactly?
Yes, we do. When you and I spoke this time yesterday, the government absolutely thought that the flight was going to take off with a handful of migrants, asylum seekers on it. But there was a last-minute intervention via the European Court for Human Rights, which was essentially looking into one individual's case and ruled that it was unfair for that individual to be deported in this way while there is still an overarching judicial review to take place into this policy in this country, which is expected to happen in the highest courts in July of this year, so just in the coming weeks. And the European Court essentially said until that decision has been made by the highest British courts, then it's not really right that this individual should be put on this plane in this way. That then caused a domino effect, really, and all of the other individuals who were also on the plane saw that their court cases at the last minute were ruled in their favour by judges. Everyone was taken off the plane. It didn't fly, and the UK government had to cancel it because there was no one to fly to Rwanda.
Despite that, is the British government still determined to go ahead with this plan? Have they spoken since last night?
Absolutely they are, and so is the Rwandan government, by the way, which says that this is a policy that it believes is workable and that it should be able to deliver. And the UK government has been saying the same. It's going to fight in the courts to make sure it says that this can go through, can go ahead as planned. It says it's confident that it can win the upcoming battles that still remain in the courts, and it says it's looking into booking its next flights already. We don't have a date for when the government hopes it can get a flight into the air with some asylum seekers on it, but the time frame we were given by Downing Street today was that the government was looking at doing so in the weeks that come. So clearly huge challenges remain for the government, huge opposition remains to the policy, but it says it's pressing ahead.
And will it have to wait for any further challenges from the legal side of things?
It looks that way, but it's difficult to know whether the government might decide to just press ahead and try and get a plane into the air with some asylum seekers on board and see off some individual legal challenges that might be levelled against the asylum seekers that are on the plane, or the government might wait until that judicial review has completed in July, and at that point, if it wins, try and get this policy underway. I mean, we were looking at a situation 24 hours ago that only 7, we think, asylum seekers were going to be on this plane at huge cost to the UK taxpayer, if you think about it on a per capita basis. But the government wanted to do it anyway to show that the policy was up and running, was workable, was practical, and it wanted to get some asylum seekers to Rwanda, by the way, so that it could also be shown at the other end that this was a policy that could be carried out in a humane way and that Rwanda was up to the task. And so we might see that kind of similar situation unfold at some point in the not too distant future. The UK government just wanting to get some people onto a plane to Rwanda to show that this is a policy that is even remotely workable.
Well, thank you very much for that update. That's our London correspondent, Olly Barratt.